Cancer, I'm here to give you a wild card read straight from the hip with lots of lip, and we are going to be doing a Crosswatchers edition. So we're going to find out, what are people saying about you? How are they feeling about the situations going on between y'all? And get a little insight from the Crosswatchers perspective. Allow them to say whatever they have to say to you, whatever they can't feel like they can say straight up, and so they have to deliver passive aggressively. Okay, this coming out right out the gate. Maybe you've been dealing with a lot of passive aggressive behavior, Cancer. All right, well, we're going to see if we can get them to, say what they got to say in this read, but we're not going to just leave you hanging. We're going to let you have a clap back, all right? So you'll get to say your piece, and it was 111 on the clock when I said that. So I think you're really at a time of just coming into alignment, most of all with yourself, Cancer. You know what's true for you. You know what you need to do, and you're following your own path, your own counsel, I feel, too. And I feel because you're doing this, it's bringing a lot of new beginnings your way that'll really benefit you. It might be a little bumpy easing into it, but I think ultimately it's in your benefit, okay? So always trust yourself, to your own self, be true. This just coming through, and this is for all significant Cancer placements: Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, North Node, Mercury, Mars, Saturn, Pluto, or significant placement in that fourth house. Or if you are a Capricorn rising, that makes you a Cancer descendant, and this will likely speak to you. So let's just dive right into it and see, Crosswatchers. Let's see. Okay, so this has something to do with a new beginning in your life, this new direction you're heading in, and how people are perceiving it, okay? They feel it's some kind of betrayal. Maybe you changed your mind on something. Originally, you were planning on heading in the same direction as somebody here, and then you kind of like flipped it up and reversed it on them. This might have caused some kind of like loss financially for somebody in this situation, all right, coming up in the shadow. Somebody's upset about this. It brought a real painful ending their way, all right? They really felt stabbed in the back. For some reason, this person feels like you changing your mind about a direction you wanted to head in affected them adversely. On a security level, I'm getting, especially in the pocketbook, like they really felt it financially, okay? This could have something to do with some kind of separation in a relationship. Right behind that, we do have the Two of Hearts in the shadow here, okay? To the Six of Clubs in reverse here, all right? But it's coming up in the light. So I feel like you did walk away from something to head in another direction because you realized the true victory was through following your heart, and really being true to your heart. Maybe you were in a relationship because of security. Maybe that felt more convenient at the time, maybe you just had a lot of years and sort of a strong foundation established with each other, but then your heart started leading you in another direction. And for you, this feels like a big success, like you overcame something that was holding you back. But there's somebody here who feels really betrayed in this situation, all right? They feel like you weren't supposed to walk away from this with the Six of Spades, that you should have stuck with it. You should have kept trying, maybe this person feels like you should put more effort into healing the relationship. But, it looks like it's kind of a situation where you're like, hey, there's nothing left to discover or learn here, and I'm not into playing games. With that card coming up in reverse, and here you are very strongly Queen of Hearts, okay, in your own energy. I think you stepped into your fire here, all right, with the Queen of Clubs. You may even be on the cusp of Leo, Cancer, all right? It could be a Cancer, Leo cusper. In that case, I feel like, yeah, maybe your approach was kind of harsh. You might have cut this off pretty cold. Maybe you had a lot built up that you hadn't expressed. So when you finally took an action, it was pretty rough. But this seems like this is the main thing for the Crosswatchers. So let's give them a chance to say what they have to say. What do the Crosswatchers want to say to Cancer? What do the Crosswatchers want to say to Cancer? What do the Crosswatchers want to say to Cancer? It looks like you got some like bitter X's in the main frame here. Okay. Somebody really feels like a tremendous amount of anxiety, stress. They might be guilt tripping you about this, Cancer. They feel like you put a huge burden on them, and they feel mostly it's in the area of like emotional duress. Like this person feels like, I just heard like they're living in a nightmare, and they feel that it's because of you. If that isn't like putting a trip on somebody, but this is what's coming through. This person feels like you put them through a lot of mental turmoil. On the bottom of the deck, we do have the Queen of Diamonds coming up in the shadow, right? So that'd be Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn energy. We'll take a look at this character and see what they have to say. Maybe this person's really in their head about you. They feel like you put some like tremendous stress on them. What does this Queen of Diamonds have to say to Cancer here? What does the Queen of Diamonds in the shadow have to say to Cancer here? Yeah, we got the 10 of Clubs coming up in the light. They feel really burdened by you. They also feel like they're in the dark. Like, could you put me in the light of like why you're so like hell bent on putting me through hell? This is kind of what this person's saying. And right on the bottom of the deck there, we got the King of Spades, air sign energy, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, all right? Masculine. So I wonder if this person is feeling burdened by a mutual party that you know. They feel almost like maybe you are kind of like concealing who they truly are, filling the King of Spades heads with a head with heads. Nothing happens accidentally in a read. Maybe they think you got some romantic involvement with the King of Spades. You're appealing to both of his heads. Like, you know, maybe you're getting down with the King of Spades and you're also giving him a little pillow talk where they think that maybe you're kind of like casting a certain shadow on them, like sort of burdening the Queen of Diamonds by tainting the King of Spades opinion about her. That's what I got. This could be a mother too, you know, a mother who's feeling burdened by your romantic connection with this King of Spades energy. You don't even necessarily, I'm getting this right now, you don't even necessarily have to be involved with the King of Spades. This could be an ex of yours who's still kind of like, has a little bit of a thing for you, you know, it's like there's still that little ember that burns. And so he's always kind of like distracted or looking in your direction, or you're his baby's mama, so you always are going to have some kind of sway. I'm just getting that this Queen of Diamonds in the shadow feels super pressed about you, and it's because of some kind of what she perceives as some kind of hold you still have on this King of Spades energy, and how that could slant his opinion of her. Like she almost thinks that you'll poison him against her is the kind of vibe I got, okay? Anything else this Queen of Diamonds has to say before I look at what this King of Spades has to say? And then I'll let you kind of clap back here, okay? Ooh, now we got a Queen of Hearts coming up in the shadow. This Queen of Hearts did land directly on, I'll kind of show you here so you can see, landed directly on this Queen of Diamonds, okay? So that when that happens for me, it's always a significator. So it's sort of dialing in some more pieces of the puzzle for you so you can understand who this character may be. This Queen of Diamonds could also have a strong water sign placement in their chart, so they could be an earth-water combo. I'm getting in their top 3, you know, maybe 4, okay? Sun, rising, moon, or Venus, okay? Water and earth there. Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio, all right? And this person is, you know, somehow got some kind of romantic attachment to this King of Spades. This might be mutual, okay? You could be just an ex of this King of Spades, or you could be currently getting involved with this King of Spades. Either way, this Queen of Hearts in the shadow is the same person as this Queen of diamonds, all right? So we know that there's like romantic attachment there. We know that there is also a certain material attachment there as well, all right? This is somebody this King of Spades used to be involved with. Crossing, King of Clubs energy, okay? Fire sign energy. Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. This makes me wonder if this is the same king here. I believe it is. That's what I'm getting the hit on. So this is probably a fire air combo king, all right? So that would be Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, all right? Again, I'm getting like top four, okay? Sun, moon, rising, Venus, okay? Yeah, this is somebody that you have mutual connection with. I'm getting, when you got the Queen of Diamonds coming up in the shadow, that's insecurity. If this card wants to creep up on top here, seeing the true you, okay? This is the Rebels oracle here, and this card was just sliding off the top of the deck to go right on top of that Queen of Diamonds, Queen of Hearts in the shadow. This person, you know what this makes me think of when I see this, though? I think this person has a false perception of you, all right? And this person, this Queen of Diamonds, Queen of Hearts character may even like downplay you, like they may put you down. They may somehow think they're superior to you, perhaps in a superficial way, and they sort of like hold that over your head, or they kind of play on that with this King of Spades energy, King of Clubs, all right? This is giving me the feel of somebody who's kind of narcissistic. You know, they're sort of like obsessed with themselves. You know, I'm envisioning them constantly gazing into a mirror. You know, the quintessential kind of like mean girl stereotype of somebody who just thinks their shit doesn't stink. It's got that vibe. And maybe like she thinks that you're not as pretty as her. Nobody's saying this is true, okay? Not meaning to activate anyone, but this is just what I'm getting. This person's very superficial. It's all about status. It's all about looks. It's all about, you know, how many people are following you on Instagram, like this kind of individual, okay? And I feel like she doesn't understand why this King of Clubs, King of Spades is like still kind of drawn to you or is fixated on you in some way. It really, like, she just doesn't have a clue. That's what I get with this 10 of clubs coming up in the light. Like, she just doesn't have a clue. She's totally in the dark about it. She doesn't get it, but it burdens her because she doesn't understand how she can even begin to compete, because she doesn't understand the draw or the attract. This is somebody who's full of themselves. And she doesn't see the true you, you know, she doesn't. She has this skewed perspective of who you are. Okay, so this is just like somebody who's jealous. This card wanted to come to, it's kind of funny, these cards to the side. This is the glow in the dark tarot. So let's see what this card is. Yep, and it's all about this King of Wands. I love how that came out like that. So definite fire sign energy. Okay, I get that this fire sign, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, masculine. This person is pretty independent, you know. They know what they want. They want what they want when they want it. You know, they're an independent agent. This could be somebody who hasn't been like nailed down yet, so to speak. This might be somebody who is recently single. I just heard. This could be somebody who's recently single. And so they're kind of like exploring their options. And I feel like this might be a case where, you know, there's a few different people on the scene here. And this Queen of Diamonds, Queen of Hearts is having a little bit of a hard time with it. And in fact, it's kind of interesting with the way that King of Wands laid down. Again, this isn't your energy, okay? This is the Queen of Diamonds, but it laid down like this. Wait, no, how was it? Let me see. How was it? No, that was right. Okay. It's laid down like this, where you're not even like really looking in this direction. I'm seeing like she thinks like you're the devil. That's what I'm saying. She thinks you're the devil, like you are just drawing, you know, his attention, and he's fixated on you. So he's looking in your direction. It did, in this case, this is what it's making me feel, that that's sort of the vibe she's got, that she feels like you're doing something to like lure him in your direction. But if that's not the case at all, you're actually not even looking that way. I feel like Cancer, you're focusing on some other stuff right now. You might actually be closing out a really significant karmic cycle in your life that's been kind of heavy for you to process. So I feel like you're this person, you're not even concerned with them. I'll let you do your clap back, but that's what I'm getting here. And I feel like this is a mutual, this could be a mutual ex that you share in common. But for some reason, you know, they still have a connection to you, or vice versa. You know, you could be the masculine in this situation and you're dealing with the same thing, just flip flop the genders as you need to. You know, obviously when we're looking at king energy, we're looking at a more masculine expressions. Okay, so this would be like somebody who's like takes action, takes charge, plays more of that kind of like stereotypical masculine role. All right, and the queen energy is more the receptive, you know, the more passive energy, the more emotional, intuitive energy. All right, so you know, pick what side you're on within these scenarios, but this is the vibe. Okay, this person feels like you are luring this person's attention away, and that you're slanting their image of them to this King of Wands energy, that you're like talking in their ear, talking trash. But it's because this Queen of Diamonds, Queen of Hearts is actually that way. They're obsessed with the superficial. They nitpick those things. They contrast and compare. They're the ones who are kind of like obsessed with their own reflection. And for some reason, they think that they have something over you in that department. So they just can't wrap their brain around this concept that there's so many different types of beauty, and that everybody has somebody that finds them beautiful. And sometimes that has nothing to do with superficial appearances. And who's to say, you know, that this Queen of Diamonds, Queen of Hearts is everybody's cup of tea? There's nothing to say that. In fact, I'm almost getting the impression that they don't have an accurate view of themselves. Okay, so interesting dynamic here. Let me let you address her first, okay? Because I feel like this needs to be addressed. What do you have to say to this Queen of Diamonds, Queen of Hearts, who's somehow thinking they're in some kind of competition with you for attention from this King of Wands, King of Spades energy? All right. It's all about the D, I just heard. It's all about the D. Whoever this king is, they're working with that devil D. That's what I just heard. It can make some women go crazy, man. It can really turn some women into total beasts, man. So if you're working with that Cancer Kings, I mean, I don't know what to say. You look like you got a little bit of an issue on your hands in this situation. All right, Cancer, what do you want to say to this Queen of Diamonds, Queen of Hearts in the shadow energy? All right, he's sparking all this competition. You're like, you know what? You're not even part of this scenario. Where I'm looking, where I'm heading, you're not part of this picture. Like it or not, I got this new beginning in love. Like, this is for me. It's not for you. And I know you may be butthurt about that, and you're licking your wounds because this used to be your king, and you know, still hold a flame for this person. But you can wait forever, for all eternity, for this person to come towards you, and they won't. Because actually, they're blocking your energy. They're not interested in anymore here. They were never satisfied with you in the first place, and they found that you were too clingy, and they've already decided that I'm their match. Oh, damn. Damn, you're just not mixing any words, man. I love it. Anything else you want to add to that, Cancer? Is there anything else you want to add to that, Cancer? Woo, yeah. Feel the burden. Stay in the dark. It's none of your business what's going on between me and my love here, okay? It's a two-person scenario. You're not invited into the mix of this. Yeah, you're meant to be in the dark about this because it's none of your business. All right? I mean, I think that sounds pretty clear. I think also there's a little part of you, Cancer, what's kind of coming through is that there's a little part of you that, you know, it's your dark side, okay? We all have a dark side, but there's this little part of you that's like, it's just desserts. Like, good. I'm glad you feel burdened by it because now you know what it feels like. Maybe this person's kind of like been a bit of a thorn in your side, I got, okay? Let's do a cut of the deck on that. Just see if there's anything else there. I love the way you just like, boom. Not every sign has been so like forward in what they had to communicate, but I feel like you've had some time to prepare for this one, Cancer. Yeah, you're like, you're wasting your time holding on to this situation. Like there's no give and take here. This is all you. You know, drop your fixation on this King of Wands energy. Like he's not interested. Look at that. 4 of Spades in the shadow. Like, let go. That's what you're saying to them. Let go. Let go. Wow. All right. Well, there's nothing else further that's needed there. Okay, let's see what this King of Clubs, King of Spades energy. Looks like it's a fire sign energy. They definitely have strong fire in their chart. Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. Let's see what they have to say to you, Cancer. Right? We've got to give them a chance to say their piece to you, too. They did come in as a cross-watcher, okay? So what does this King of Clubs, King of Spades energy have to say to Cancer? What does this King of Wands have to say to Cancer? What does this King of Wands have to say to Cancer? What does this King of Wands have to say to Cancer? I love how that got delivered, man. Sorry, I think it's really funny. Ooh, okay. 2 of Diamonds, you know, that things are balanced between the 2 of you, okay? And Ace of Diamonds in the shadow. This looks like not wanting to make a commitment in this direction. Yep, 10 of Diamonds in the shadow, like, interesting. So this King of Wands is basically saying, like, things are balanced between the 2 of you, Cancer. Like, it's good. Things are good between us. You'll always be somebody that I remember fondly with the 6 of Hearts coming up in the light. We always will have a connection. True. Okay. This might have been somebody that you were involved with in the past. Could have been somebody that you viewed as a soulmate. You were really close. It looks like there's still fond feelings there. But this person is kind of saying, at least in terms of you, they're non-committal. With the Ace of Diamonds to the 10 of Diamonds in the shadow, that's like, no, that's, you know, that's not where my mind's at. But they are saying that things are like karmically balanced between the 2 of you. They have, you know, fond memories of you. You'll always have a place in their life, you know, and maybe for some reason the 2 of you have to interact with each other. All right. Maybe this is because of like some kind of work arrangement. You know, maybe you own something together, own property, own a business. This could also be that you share a child. Okay. So there's a reason why you have to be in touch with each other in regard to this, you know, and I feel like there's very balanced interactions between the two of you. I feel like it wasn't always that way with the eight of diamonds coming up in the shadow here, okay? Yeah, and you know what? It's interesting here because it's kind of like they're almost saying that they at one time they would have invested more in you, is what I'm seeing here, Cancer. You might be a Cancer Leo cusper, all right? Like they thought there was going to be growth here with you, but they felt like you were you just wanted to be too much of like an independent agent. They might have even accused you of two-timing, you know, they might have accused you of cheating. I mean, with the Queen of Clubs here coming up in the shadow, that's usually like the mistress, you know, somebody stepping out, having an affair. Anyway, they feel, whether that's true or not, okay, that's their perception. They feel in some way you were non-committal and that you wouldn't nail it down with them, and that at one point they were serious, but that made you come out of alignment. So, you know, in regard to any kind of committed relationship, like they don't view you that way anymore. They still have fond feelings for you. It looks like there's a sentimental connection there, but there's no growth and there's no true alignment. Okay, so they're clarifying that to you. Let's see what you have to say to them about that, Cancer. What does Cancer have to say to this King of Clubs energy, King of Spades energy? Looks like it's also an ex to you, or somebody you used to be involved with. And it's sort of like you've been dealing with another one of their exes. That's what I got. This King of Wands energy might have been the type that kind of like, you know, he liked to play the field. And maybe he, you know, was kind of popular. So made things a little messy at times, you know. I feel like you might have had a really serious connection with this person at one point, though. Maybe even lived with them, or you were married to them, perhaps, okay? Because I do see that Ace of Diamonds, 10 of Diamonds there coming up in the shadow. So there could have been something that ended your relationship. This could have been because you had an affair or they had an affair. Maybe this Queen of Diamonds, Queen of Hearts was the one they stepped out with, if that's the case. If that's the case, you know, they see that, you know, it's one of those situations where maybe they thought that this Queen of Diamonds, Queen of Hearts was going to make them happy, and then they went that direction. They were like, damn, I screwed up a good thing, man. Like they might still like regret the decision, but at the same time, they know that it's like things have gone too far where there's no hope in reviving. Like from their perspective, okay, let's see what you have to say about this Cancer to this Queen. I'm sorry, this King. Well, for some of you, it's a Queen, all right? Flip-flop the roles as you need to. What do you have to say to this King of Clubs energy? King of Clubs, King of Wands, King of Spades. What do you want them to know? Yep. You're like, I needed to walk away from this because it wasn't healthy. You know, I had to follow my heart. You felt like you weren't treated the way you should have been treated in this relationship. And in the end, you chose independence. 9 of Diamonds in the light. You feel happy that you made that decision, that you chose to go your own way. It actually, for you, was a point of real empowerment in your personal growth. You feel really good about that. You feel really solid. And I think also you have fared better financially too, like kind of heading out on your own. Maybe you really needed that independence. You had become a bit too enmeshed in your connection with this King of Clubs energy. And I think maybe you started a business of your own and you built something for yourself, and it gave you a huge sense of pride in yourself. And you're like, yeah, things are balanced, all right. But you see it different, you know, where they feel like it's good. You feel like, yeah, it's balanced, but it's not so good because you feel like you really got betrayed in this situation. You feel like this person lied, took advantage of you, you know, manipulated you. You feel like, you know, they were a cheater, and that's what really made this, you know, not be a possibility. You're just clarifying. Isn't this interesting? Because they brought in that 10 of Diamonds in the shadow, and you're like, yeah, you know, it could have been this. It could have been us building together. It could have been us really happy and prospering in this direction. But, you know, it got separated with this 2 hearts in the light. And your love was genuine. It was true. But you also know that, you know, things happen for a reason. It's like you're taking this sort of higher road philosophical approach where you're like, I know that though you think this is balanced out, I don't think it is, but I don't need to deal with that because life will handle it with the Joker here, you know. I just heard from you, Cancer, I just heard everything's a joke to you. Everything's a joke to you. And it's not funny, okay? You may have had some stuff go down on social media. We got Facebook, Twitter, YouTube here with this Queen of Diamonds, okay? That really made you feel like you had to put up your guard and big time. You're like, oh, hell no. Look at this, to the Ace of Spades. I am not going through this again, all right? I don't feel like it's your first time at the rodeo with this. I think you feel totally at peace with your decision to let this be done. It doesn't look like you're like looking to cause any trouble to this King of Clubs, King of Spades energy, but it does look like, yeah, you know, the balance will come is kind of your take on it. Like you feel like this person's due a little bit more. When I said the balance will come, it was 31:44 on the clock. So I think we got like some angels in the mix that are like, oh yeah, we're keeping an eye on that. Don't worry about it. You know, and I think that's the right approach. Just taking your hands off of it, not trying to, you know, exact any punishment where you feel like you were done wrong in this situation. It looks like it's phasing out. Okay. Is there any other cross watchers that have anything to say to Cancer? Let's see. Yeah, I mean, it seems like this is just the clap back from this King of Clubs energy. Same thing, you know, he's just saying, you know, yeah, you know, we thought there'd be more growth than there was. It ended up being a disappointment. It's because third-party interference, you know. It is what it is. We both let it go. It's good. All right. So it looks like at least you're on like kind of neutral terms with this King of Wands energy. All right. So let's see here. What do we want to look at? I feel like I want to just get you a little information since that was pretty cut and dry. There's not really a lot to look into here, which is good. Better to have just like a little bit to deal with. Some of the signs that came out, I'm like, oh my gosh, there's a lot going on here. Like, I like when it's pretty clean and simple. Okay. That's positive. Looks like you're definitely like keeping your side of the street swept clean, Cancer. You're minding your own, doing your own thing, building for yourself. That looks really good. We're going to pull out the angel cards. Yeah, those are not right. Okay. So anything that Cancer needs to know at this time, angels, in relation to what got brought in by the cross watchers and how things are going to pan out in this situation. Just any kind of final guidance here for Cancer Collective, Cancer Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, North Node, Mercury, Mars, Saturn, Pluto, or significant placement in the 4th house, or Capricorn Rising, just Cancer Descendant. Anything that they need to know, angels, about these cross watchers that got brought in these situations, or even just what's on the other side of this experience, any guidance that you want to bring in for Cancer now. Seven of Pentacles. Isn't this interesting? It's like 7 of Diamonds, 7 of Diamonds, 7 of Pentacles. Obviously, there was something about this situation that was really about growth for you. And I feel like it's not just a case where it was like a necessary soul lesson through this soulmate. You know, sometimes the soulmates that come onto our paths are very challenging. It's not like some beautiful experience. People always forget that challengers on our path can be our soulmates too. And it sounds like this was one of those situations where it was a karmic situation that had to come onto your path to integrate certain growth and certain lessons. And it kind of feels like it was that all around, except for that Queen of Diamonds, Queen of Hearts energy still needs to get a clue, because it looks like they're still kind of holding on to some grudge energy there. But it says here that the decisions you made were in harmony. You've got 7 of Pentacles on the bottom of the deck here, okay? You're listening to your own guidance. I feel a lot of kind of almost hermit energy here. So I don't know if there's a Virgo in the mix in this situation, but I feel like you're just sort of using the light you're building inside of yourself to light your way forward. You're trusting your intuition. You're following your heart. Maybe you had to kind of step out on your own. At first, that felt a little intimidating. But I think you used wise discernment in this matter, and you knew when it was time to walk away. And in a way, it was good for you, because it's like as you started to step away from this relationship and all the drama attached to it, you started to realize how much it was holding you back. Like you really didn't feel free to be who you are in that situation. It's almost like you had to walk away from this connection to really discover yourself. And it was a good move. You also didn't realize until you started to move away from this person's influence how much they were blocking your growth financially. Now, see, this is kind of an interesting thing, because sometimes if you're connected with somebody and it's out of harmony, it automatically puts you in this space emotionally where you kind of like shut down. And if you get shut down, you're not receptive. And if you're not receptive, then you cannot be in the flow of abundance. So a lot of times people will notice like growth isn't just limited emotionally or spiritually or within the framework of the relationship, but they start experiencing financial hardships and losses in other areas of their lives. It's like it starts to cock block the abundance and blessings. And it's to get you uncomfortable enough where you actually start looking at like, well, what's going on here? Why are things not working? And then you have to sort of like figure out what one of these things is not like the other one. Like, what is the fly in the ointment here? And I think you're starting to really realize that. So every step further you get away from this connection and from all this, you know, drama on the periphery, I feel like that light that you're using to guide you just gets brighter and brighter, and you're seeing a real uptick in your finances. So you got, you know, a lot of improvement in this area. And it's sort of going to be like a confirmation for you that you are moving in the right direction, that you made the right choice. So I hope you feel really empowered in that. Okay. Got quite a few coming out here. So let's see what they have to say. You got these 2 cards that are coming out in like a cross position, which you see here. 2 cards here in the cross position. There's one that's covering them. This used to be in a cross position too, but it looks like it's some action that's about to be taken here. So we'll have a look at that and see what's going on there. Justice in reverse. Okay, so this is something that's coming out of that energy though. So I feel like something happened that wasn't right. There was an injustice done in this situation. Something wasn't fair. Okay, this might be going back to that piece where you were like, yeah, you may think it's all cool and everything's balanced out, but I don't really see it that way. I feel like this is turning around as we speak. Okay, there's some truth that has been held back up until now, and this truth is going to be the very thing that's sort of going to clear your name. All right, because like I said, I feel like this Queen of Diamonds has been, you know, not a good influence in this situation. She's caused some problems, and it's because of jealousy, you know. So she might have been talking badly about you, or, you know, spreading some kind of gossip, something along these lines. But I feel like the truth is going to be revealed. And if you're dealing with any kind of legalities because something that you were supposed to receive was denied or blocked because of somebody's interference and meddling in that situation, and because they skewed, you know, the perception of who you are through slander, I feel like you're turning this energy around and the truth is going to be seen, right? There's some injustice is going to be righted. More in reverse energy. 9 of Swords, 8 of Swords. My goodness. This is not for everybody. This is for somebody out there. Somebody may have even tried to do something to get you like restricted in some way on a legal level. This could have been through, you know, anything from trying to set you up so you could actually do some time to trying to get you like put in some kind of institution. It could have also been to get you like in a place where you were immobile, unable to act, like taking over some, you know, taking over some contract or something that would put you in a stuck position and at a disadvantage. This could even be like trying to get your name removed from a will, from a deed, you know, something along these lines. I feel like somebody tried to do something here to get you stuck, okay? And it's turning around as well. This is something that caused a supreme amount of stress with the 9 of Swords to the 8 of Swords. Yeah, this definitely came from an enemy and somebody who wanted to steal your fortune. So there's a financial piece here. Like somebody might have falsified documents or did something to try to implicate you in a situation where it was not true. This energy is turning around. You're not going to get hung up on anything. You're going to be freed from this situation. So I wouldn't stress out about it. It's in the process of turning around right now, in fact, okay? So I don't know if you've been really like having a lot of sleepless nights, you've been stressed out, you've been anxious about the future, you've been wondering, you know, what you were going to do to like protect yourself from these people. You know, you might have even been considering in some cases getting some kind of restraining order because you felt a lot of anxiety in this situation, you didn't feel safe. But you're gonna get what's just due to you, okay? Nobody's gonna be able to put you in a position of getting you trapped. It looks like the truth is gonna set you free, quite literally, for some of you, all right? Those of you dealing with legal issues. For those of you that are not dealing with legal issues, you're moving out of a time where you felt really stuck and incapable of moving forward. This could have been due to being in a situation where you were with somebody who was really like emotionally abusive, you know? They really talked down to you. They put you in your head. You took it on for a little while. You felt like a real blow to your self-esteem. You felt disempowered. But something inside of you gave you the strength. For a lot of you, this is your spirituality. You reconnected spiritually, and this really helped you. For some of you, you reconnected with a particular relative, you know, and they really were able to bolster you and get you into a position where you kind of like you remembered who you were, where you came from. Some of you started really getting connected with your ancestors, and you learned a lot about just the spirit of your ancestors, the spirit of your bloodline, the strength, like the stock you come from. And this became a part of your spirituality. But I feel like there's a spiritual component here where you did a lot of deep work. And this may have even been through some kind of like radical kind of therapy. Now, when I say that, I'm saying something that's, you know, maybe on the basis of like something more traditional, like Jungian psychology, but then they kind of like take it to the next level by bringing in a lot of holistic aspects. So I feel like you've been working with somebody, possibly this could even be like a spiritual teacher or working within some kind of spiritual tradition where you had a set practice and a lot of support. But I feel like you've been able to get out of your head and you've really like recovered your sense of self. And as you've done this and you've sort of we're able to kind of cut that off at the root. I got it's not only bringing you into balance, but things are also simultaneously turning around because you finally had the courage to free yourself from a situation that did a real number on you. Looks like did a real number on the way you perceived yourself, and you're starting to really figure out who you are and seeing yourself accurately. You're recognizing you took on a lot of other people's projections onto you that have nothing to do with the truth of who you are. And as you're doing this, it's just like it's turning everything around. And the people who, used to make you feel like you were just, at their mercy, they're getting their comeuppance, man. Like Spirit saw that back there. So there is an energy of this turning around. Anything else, angels, that you want to tell Cancer? Okay. They actually have a lot to say to you. You might have been going through a really difficult time recently. And just kind of feeling like on your own and dealing with certain situations and not knowing who you could trust, who you could rely on, okay? So they're wanting you to feel really supported here. 10 of Swords, 9 of Pentacles, King of Cups, Queen of Cups. This is beautiful, okay? So it looks like, yes, it's because you had this courage to end this karmic cycle and walk away from it that you got this protection in moving forward. There's nothing that can touch you now, because I almost see this. I know it's not, but to me, it really reminds me of in the I Ching, they have these coins that you can use to do divination. It looks a lot like those I Ching coins, but I'm noticing, of course, all the angel eyes on there, which are making me think of averting like that evil eye energy, like not having this energy coming at you. That was interesting the way it got bright there. I feel like you're averting this evil eye energy. And your way forward is protected. There's a lot of protection around you because this Ace of Pentacles, this new beginning, is here for you. And it says revelation protects from sadness. It also says gives revelations and dreams. So you might find that you're getting a lot of spiritual guidance or downloads coming in during your dream time, and that this is actually something that you should really pay attention to, that it's giving you a lot of guidance about how to move forward. And maybe there's something that I get this, you had some dream and it left really profound effect on you. You woke up from it and it felt very real. And I almost feel this sense like you woke up from the dream and you started to cry because you didn't want to leave that space because it felt like so beautiful. That was real. It's something that you're grokking that's coming up for you down the pike. So that's a confirmation for somebody. That wasn't your imagination. That was you actually having a moment of clairvoyance. So you'll see this play out, okay? 9 of Pentacles. Yeah, just continue to let go and trust, all right? You're totally protected. You're totally covered. You're coming into the time when you're going to receive your blessings. It may not have been easy to get here. You may have had to really like let go of a lot and just sort of turn it over and trust Spirit to guide you. But it's going to work out for you. And whoever was working against you and whatever their plans may have been, like, it's going to come to nothing. It says here, identifies traitors and destroys their plans. All right. So you're totally covered here. And it looks like what's covered at the end of the day is this beautiful relationship, because there you are. King of Cups, Queen of Cups. All right. You got somebody here who's your match, somebody you're meant to come into union with. This looks really beautiful. It says redemption serves against enemies, governs chastity. So this is somebody who will be loyal to you. This is somebody who will be faithful. This isn't going to be somebody running around, fooling around on you, involving other people in your business. Like, your time of dealing with that kind of drama is over. And on the King of Cups here, it says restitution, finds stolen objects and discovers the person responsible. So yeah, maybe somebody did have designs on the person who has their eyes on you, but at the end of the day, nobody can take what's meant for you. What's meant for you is meant for you. And I think you'll find out, who is working against you, who is trying to sabotage this connection that's obviously there for you, coming in for you. If you're not already aware of this, It's on its way. You got some significant love relationship coming in for you. And this is going to be real, like, it's going to like make it all worth it in the end. It's going to be like, it's like that last laugh energy, okay? So everything's going to work out. And I think it will be revealed to you who was causing problems, you know, who was actually working to keep this from coming in for you. And it'll be a moment of vindication for you. Cut the deck energy. So if you've been having a rough time with somebody because you've had interference from third party, whether that's like a meddling mother or a meddling friend or something, don't worry about it. You're going to get to the other side. That Six of Pentacles, divine grace, cures rage, and absolves the guilty. Okay, so you're going to get on the same team. Look at all the symbolism. Some of you are going to be getting married if you're not already married. If you are married and you went through a difficult period or maybe a separation, this is like maybe some of you even renewing your vows, getting to the other side of it. And on the other side here, Four of Cups, healing capacity, protection. Okay, so wherever there was disappointment in this situation, you're going to be able to balance it out. All right, there is healing available here. And right behind that, we have that Two of Cups. Like, you definitely have a union that's being preserved in this situation. If you're single right now and you're like, I have no idea, well, you're not going to be for long. Somebody's coming in for you. It could be an ex. It could be an ex. And there could be a lot of misunderstanding between the two of you and a lot of stuff that you don't really know about because other people have been controlling the narrative. And once you connect and you can really sit down and clear the air with each other, you're going to find the way through. But it looks like nobody can tear apart what is meant for you. And I just wish you all the love and the happiness and the bliss on the other side of what looks like it's been a real headache, man. But you're beautiful and you're worthy, or you're handsome and dashing, and you deserve the best. So don't let anybody put their own sense of insecurity on you. You hold your head high and enjoy all that goodness coming your way.